Hi, and welcome back to Archicad Basic Training. And in this episode, we are going to cover layers and layer combinations. So if you go to Options, and if you go to Document and Layers, then you'll have access to your layer settings. And so if we go to Layer Settings, we have layers here, and we have layer combinations over here. Layer combinations are saved layer setting information. So we have the option to lock layers, to hide and show layers. We also have the option to change how that layer looks in 3 dimensions. So we can have a solid rendering, and then we can also have a wireframe rendering. So if you see there, you can see how it changes to a wireframe box. Then we also have layer combinations, layer intersection combinations. So this, and you can organize each of these by clicking on the top. So this is a unique tool which allows you basically to set what layers interact with each other. So all the ones will interact with each other, the zeros will interact with each other, and the 2s here will interact with each other. And these can be set, I believe, up to, okay, so 65,000 something. So you basically can have 65,000 different layer intersection combinations. Let me explain how this actually works, and as well as this one. So I'm going to do 2 things. So I'm going to set this wall exterior. I'm going to set this to 22 or whatever number I want. I'm going to set wall exterior with the extension of B to the 22nd layer intersection combo, and I'm also setting it so that it's wireframe. So now let's just look at what this means. So if I go to my floor plan and I set this wall, let's just create 2 new walls. So I'm going to create one wall. This is on A wall exterior A, and this other wall is on A wall exterior A. And you can see how these walls interact with each other. Now I'm going to set another wall to A wall exterior B, and if I set this wall here, same wall, but on different layers, this wall is not interacting with this other wall. So if I just change the layer, it automatically knows that it'll interact with it, and if I change it back, it knows again that it shouldn't interact with it. Now, one other thing I did change, and I'm going to go back and show you what it is that I've already also set, so if I set this wall to back to what the settings, because I didn't update the settings. So now I can see that this wall exterior is on 22, is going to be wireframe. So let's hide that. Whoops. Let's just make sure that that wall is on. So A wall exterior, and we'll turn it on and we'll update it in the floor plan. So I'm just hiding this roof. So I'm just going to select these elements. I'm going to go to 3D. And because I've set this layer to be wireframe, it shows up as wireframe in 3D. And this is a unique feature because typically you can only see things in wireframe. So if I set everything to wireframe now, so when I set things to wireframe, I can only globally set them unless I adjust them in the layer combination. Now I'm going to go back to my solid, but because this layer is set to wireframe, everything that's on that layer is going to be shown in wireframe in 3D regardless of the global view settings. So let's go back to the layers. So that's the layer intersection combination, and what I also showed you is adjusting this this rendering kind of three-dimensional view of the layer. And with that, why don't you join me in the next lesson where we'll continue to talk about layers and layer combinations. Thanks.